How's it going, everyone? Kayne Talks here, and welcome back to an episode of Kayne Talks Games. I was originally going to make this as a Halloween special, but I decided to pass up on it. I mean, if I uploaded by Halloween, it'd be great, but I'm not going to stress myself too much. I mean, I did get some kind of decoration going, spider webs, little few baby spiders. Picked up a few masks, just cheap ones that if I was going to do a quick vlog, I'd just put them on. And I've actually got a costume, a proper costume of a video game character that I was going to do for this episode, but unfortunately it wouldn't have really suited for the game that I'm going to be talking about in this episode of Kayne Talks Games. If you couldn't tell by the title and the don't know if you're going to see the back, but for this episode we're going to be finally talking about Resident Evil 3, and like Resident Evil 2 we're going to do Resident Evil 3 Remake, a double feature. Resident Evil 3 is a bit of a strange one for us because it slipped our radars, unfortunately. Resident Evil 1 was the biggest game at the time of release. It was the scariest game of all time. And then Resident Evil 2 was released, and that was all advertised as, you thought Resident Evil 1 was scary? This is just the beginning, so we were all over that. But Resident Evil 3, like I said, just slipped our radars. It was only until when our dad was at work, he worked in the Merchant Navy, and one of his crewmates had a PlayStation as well, so we had two PlayStations, so me and Luke had one, and Dad would take one to work so he could play and all that stuff, and one of his mates had a copy of Resident Evil 3, so he let Dad borrow it, and yeah, he rang us up and said, boys, there's a new Resident Evil game, this one, you got a giant zombie chasing you, and we're like, oh, that sounds exciting and scary. So he come home for his swing, comes home, stays home for a few weeks, then goes back for his work swing, and yeah, hired it from the video store, and we got demolished. Not by Nemesis, not yet. That game, it felt so quick, and the zombies were just always on your tail. And bear in mind, me and Luke were always playing Resident Evil 2, and I wouldn't get very far. I'd just do the first, get to the RPD, the safe room with the 2-2-3-6 combo, reset. So I wasn't prepared for Resident Evil 3 with how quick the zombies would chase you and just always grouped up, and we eventually got to the moment. One of my favourite tyrants of Resident Evil, Nemesis.
We've got to... Jill, help! No!
Yeah, when he took out Brad so easily, I was like, holy shit. I didn't really, because at the time I knew about the big bosses, but I always thought they were safe to the end. No, this is like the first 10 minutes. Knocks off Brad. Do you want to fight or run? Of course I ran. And then the moment when he punched on the doors made me shit myself. And just going through the station, chasing after you, and I thought, I'm out. I can't do it. I'm too scared. I was a big sook back then. Like I mentioned in my other Kayne Talks games with Resident Evil, I didn't start really playing them until I was 15. And at the time I was about 9, 10. So I was still a bit of a wuss. But geez, was Nemesis a great character. One of my favourites. And funny enough, Resident Evil 3 is one of my favourite Resident Evils. If I could not choose one, the original, that's a biased decision. You can't pick that one because of course, that's the number one. It started the whole franchise, Resident Evil. So take that out of the equation. Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, my favourite. The moment that finished me, and Dad knew about this, he set us up once again. He was always good with setting us up with the scariest moments. So we get through the station, we replayed on easy, got all the weapons, yeah, whatever, cool as a wuss, I don't care, I got, Magnum. So we killed Nemesis the second time. Went through the station, mowing down all the zombies. We got all the weapons. We're having a good time. We reach the staircase. We hear a smash. And Resident Evil 1 moments are coming back. The dog jumped through the window. We thought, okay, there's going to be a dog. There is a dog somewhere. It's jumped through the window. Go down the stairs. Walk, smash. In comes Nemesis. Now he's wielding a rocket launcher. And that was my second break moment, because he killed me, but I thought, this guy's tough. I can't beat him. So we didn't end up buying the game, so we rented it that time, and then obviously took it back, and yeah, we just never picked it up again. But with magazines, it was always moments talking about the game. I'd always read through it. I always remember one magazine had a mini walkthrough. It only went up to the clock tower, but I'd always read through it. It was almost like a comic for me. You know, I'd pick up that, you know, big collection of PS1 magazines we always, you know, we built up, and that one I'd go to and I'd be reading the, oh, so Jill went to the police station. Oh, Nemesis is finding her. So that was a really fun memory for me. Just, I wish I could find it. It was just such a great thing to do, and yeah, I just treat it like a comic. So I was really familiar with the game, but just unfortunately never playing it until 2015. We were finally brave enough. We are gonna beat these Resident Evil games. We are not children anymore. So Luke picked up Resident Evil 1 from I forgot what it was called. Cash converters. No, it was called something else at the time, but he saw Resident Evil 1 and picked it up and went through it a little bit. Got pretty far, but put it aside. But then Resident Evil 3. Our video store, I forget what it was called. So many stores are gone now. Network Video, I think it was called at the time. It was then called Civic Video, but then that shut down, unfortunately. Oh, those were the days, going to the video store and hiring stuff out. But we were, I don't know if he was the owner or the manager. His name was Chris, if I remember, and we were pretty good with him. He, you know, we'd always come in, you know, how you going, Chris? All good. Oh, you got anything new? What's the latest game or the latest movie? Any recommendations? We found out he would do auctions for games and movies that you'd be looking for, and he happened to have a couple of auctions for Resident Evil 3, and this is when me and Luke were, I have to say it, the movies, the first two movies, my mind has changed now. I would not watch those movies anymore, but Resident Evil 1 we always had on loop. Resident Evil 2 or Resident Evil Apocalypse, it had Nemesis. I loved Nemesis. We had that on loop so much. So we were in the Resident Evil 3 mood. So like I was saying, we found out that he was on an auction. So Luke was mainly, he was the pilot. He wanted it, and I was just on the side. And Chris would say, "All right, put your auction down. And do you want us to keep going, or do you have a set limit?" So if I remember, we put a set limit of $50. I can't remember, but he would let us know when one auction would end, and if we lost, you know, we wouldn't be dwelling on it. Last one, it was a school night. I was doing homework, and Luke was doing something on the computer. Got a phone call at like 7 o'clock at night. It was Chris. "Hey guys, congratulations, you won the auction." We finally had Resident Evil 3 Nemesis in the collection.
Okay, people, let's get moving.
And Luke played through that whole game in almost 2 nights. It was fun watching him play, and so he was already above the being scared level. He was going through a few of the Resident Evil games, and he got Resident Evil 4 for Christmas of 2005, pretty sure. See, my stories keep changing with each Kayne Talks Games of Resident Evil, but yeah, he was all over it, whereas I was still sticking to my wrestling games. I was big on my wrestling games, and I was always happy playing them non-stop. And then I eventually was brave enough. Resident Evil 1 was my first game I beat in 2005. No, maybe in 2006. I can never remember the dates. But it was around that time. It was from 2015 for the next couple of years, we were just Resident Evil, going through them all. And yeah, Luke spent those few days just playing through it. And then I decided I'm ready to play 3. And that was the first game I picked clean. Resident Evil 1, I played through both, but I didn't really unlock the rocket launcher and stuff. I didn't want to speed through it. Resident Evil 2, I did one scenario, then half a scenario B, and I kept getting killed by Birkin with the pipe. So I just thought, hey, I'm not in a rush to play it. Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, loved it. I love the fact that just that fear of Nemesis chasing you, always chasing me down. Played on the hard difficulty, got through it, beat him on every encounter, and unlocking the mercenaries mode, I unlocked all the weapons. I was just trying to remember the weapons. It was the machine gun, Magnum, rocket launcher, and then infinite ammo for everything, if I remember. And just playing through the mercenaries mode was really fun. So that was the game I just absolutely 100% completed. It was one of my first games I ever, like before even trophies were out, this was the first game that I felt like I achieved a platinum trophy, just unlocked everything. I guess the SmackDown games count, but they're quite easy, and they didn't really have a challenge. It was just complete the season mode and all that stuff, and then later on they did have challenges. But yeah, Resident Evil 3 was my first, and what a ride that was. And it's still to this day one of my favourite games, and when I finally finished a playthrough of it, I just felt complete. Like for my YouTube channel, I'd done a couple of quick sessions of it when I first started my YouTube channel in 2013 for my first Halloween. Oh, there we go, for Halloween. I should have made this Halloween special. If I can get it uploaded on Halloween, I'll be happy. So I did Resident Evil 1, got my ass kicked by Yawn. Resident Evil 2 I did alright. Resident Evil 3 got my ass kicked by first Nemesis encounter. But those were emulated on my computer because I didn't have a recording software for my consoles at the time. So yeah, I was happy to have just gone through a few. Sorry, itchy. So just a few minutes of those games just to get it on my YouTube channel that I'm a big Resident Evil fan. But then years later with Resident Evil, I didn't really play many. I played a lot of fan games. It wasn't not like main series stuff, but I think my first proper Resident Evil playthrough would have been 7. Yeah. And then I eventually did Resident Evil 1, then Resident Evil 2 Remake, then 2 for Halloween of last year, and then after that I finally did Resident Evil 3, and I was so happy. It was just such a good time for me, and the best bit, I beat Nemesis on the first shot. How could I forget? The biggest reason I really love this game, Jill Valentine. She's my favourite Resident Evil character. She's my #1. So to have her as the main lead of a Resident Evil game was really awesome because I loved her in the first game, and just to see her in another game was really awesome.
You want stars? I'll give you stars. Leon, that woman was... I have to talk to her.
Before we move on to Remake, I just want to talk about a few other things as well, just how much I really enjoy this game. When I played it years ago, I actually encountered a glitch, and it was around about 2007 when I was really big in playing it and trying to complete it and unlock everything. When I was fighting the Gravedigger boss for the second time, does the first one count? Because you don't really attack. I'll say the second time. You know when you're in the graveyard and you meet Nikolai, I was trying to shock it with the light poles, and for some reason when I did it, the worm lifted up and then it was flying in the sky, and I got the most shittiest camera footage because I said to Luke, grab the camera, I got a glitch, grab the camera. And this was when YouTube at the time, it wasn't as big as it was back in 07. It was certainly getting up there, but it wasn't as big as it was. So what me and Luke liked on that is searching up glitches for video games, and because of that we were trying to do our own games. Halo we did a big one with trying to make the tanks spin if you ran into each other, and Resident Evil ones I always loved seeing, and I finally got a glitch and I uploaded it to my YouTube channel that I made I think I created a few months before and uploaded that video. Unfortunately, my channel got deleted. I did a load of music videos, like anime music videos and game music videos, and then copyrights hit, and I was. But yeah, that was like one of my first videos uploaded to my channel, and I'll put it right here so you can all see. I still got the video. Now that I'm talking, because of this game, I was drawing. I wasn't the best drawer in high school, but I loved art class. The teachers that would run it, there were two brothers actually. The classes were connected. There was art and multimedia. So art, obviously drawing. I loved clay modeling. That was really fun. And the other lecturer, he would do like film, all that stuff. And they were huge Resident Evil fans as well. So whenever it would be in art class, oh, what are you drawing? Resident Evil? Nice. And multimedia, I'd be like, oh, what are you doing? I want to film Resident Evil. Nice. So they were really cool, and I don't know if they still attend that high school, but yeah. So a couple of years after that, we did, I think it was year 10. Yeah, year 10, because it was 2005. I think I said 2015 at some point in this video. 2005. Sorry, I will put a editor in there, but yeah, when playing Resident Evil 3, had art class in grade 10. You had to pick subjects, and I definitely picked art. And me and Luke, it was always Resident Evil. We're big on Aliens and Predator as well, but Luke did this really cool. So we were clay modeling, and you had to do scenery. I choked because I was trying to. So if you looked down, you could see. So a scenery shot is like you're standing up on a cliff and you're looking down, and you can see, you're at a bush, fire, you're at a campsite. You can see the fire pit, a tent, blah, blah, blah. You're not actually trying to make something, and I choked. I was trying to do a Predator scenery where he had a stack of skulls, he had a spinal cord thing, and a cave. I don't know what happened. I think when I tried to fire it, it just didn't go. Or someone else got theirs dropped. Some douchebag wrecked someone's clay modeling, because you had to put it in a paper bag and then put it in not a fridge, but to try and keep it fresh. And someone walked in and it was on the floor. Some idiot had, but I thought it was me, but no, it wasn't me. Mine, I struggled to try and burn. So it was ending, and I had to quickly make something. I ended up doing a bloody skull on a stick, and it was just like, fuck. But Luke, he did a scene from Resident Evil Apocalypse where Nemesis shot down the STARS officers in that building, but he didn't have Nemesis, but he had the building, the sign, the rocket launcher on the ground, which was awesome. So yeah, everything was just Resident Evil for us at that point, and yeah, that was just a fun memory. I just remembered actually with because of Resident Evil and Resident Evil 3 Nemesis in particular.
What's that?
Calm down, lady. I'm no zombie. Are you crazy?
Alright, I talked a lot about the original. Now let's talk about the remake. Oh boy, it could have been a lot better. I liked it, I enjoyed it, 100% completed it, unlocked everything, but jeez, they could have done better. I feel like, this is my opinion, this game was released because Resistance was coming out, and they didn't want to Capcom just didn't want to release Resistance without something to satisfy us. I just felt like it's empty. I really wish that it could be different. The biggest one for me was Brad being wasted. He, like, not like wasted, but the first 5 seconds, he gets bit. You know, Jill, go on ahead. No. The most iconic thing for Resident Evil 3 to really set the tone of that game was Nemesis taking out Brad. Like that. So that was a big down for me. The other one, and a lot of people were not happy with this, when Resident Evil 2 Remake come out and you're playing through the game, you start to notice some things. Why is there big holes in the walls? Why does it feel like something bashed through? Stars! Nemesis! We're excited. So you're playing through Resident Evil 2 Remake and you see all these big holes in these walls, so Nemesis has been here, going after Jill. No, it was Carlos blowing the wall. What a wasted opportunity. So you get to the RPD station, you find Brad, you take him out as a zombie, you go through the star station, Jill is nowhere near, not the star station, RPD station, Jill is nowhere near the RPD station, which was another iconic moment in Resident Evil 3, the original, and yeah, he blows the hole in the wall that caused the other hole. Nemesis was nowhere near it, and that was such a bummer. It set itself up, but then the payoff was just.
Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me?
Alright, got those out of the way. I wanted to get those off my chest first, so I don't end the video in a negative way. Apart from those issues, I did have a good time with the game. It was awesome to see Jill Valentine once again, especially in the RE engine. They're really confirming that the incidents from Raccoon City did happen in this universe, because Resident Evil 7 was happening, and you thought, oh, maybe they're completely redoing the timeline. Well, when they found the newspaper in the game and it talked about Raccoon City, I was like, oh. And then Chris Redfield made an appearance at the end, which made me even happier. So it was only a matter of time, and well, then Resident Evil 2 Remake come out, and it was only a matter of time till we got 3. Fortunately, it was a bit of a ball drop, but we got a remake. We finally got Jill Valentine, which I'm happy about, and it was a fun game for what it was. What I did like was the hospital. That scared me. Seeing the hunters, they were awesome. I was finally happy to see some hunters. I think, when was the last time we even saw them in a game? I can't even remember. But geez, they were terrifying. As soon as I realised what was happening in the hospital, I was like, oh no. So, yeah. Resident Evil 3 Remake, you had your moments, but oh, you also had some moments. Alright everyone, that's the end of this episode of Kayne Talks Games. Really happy to have finally talked about Resident Evil 3 and completing the original trilogy of Resident Evil games, because originally I was trying to spread them out as far as I could with this series, but I thought, who am I kidding? Yeah, I love these games, why am I holding them off? Let's talk about them, let's remember the good times, or I remember the good times I had with these games and still love them to this day. Yeah, so much that I finally did some playthroughs for my YouTube channel. Really awesome. I'm definitely going to be doing something different. Nothing Resident Evil related for a while, especially for the next episode. I do have a game in mind, but I'm still debating. I don't know what to do yet, but definitely, because of my Christmas, I got to do a Christmas special. I can always do a Christmas special, but I can never get a Halloween special. Bloody hell, but yeah, still deciding on that, but I'm happy at least to have finally said, like I said, did the original trilogy Resident Evil, and I will end it there. Thanks all for watching, and I will see you later. Oh shit!